Iconic bangs, cropped tee, miniskirt, and red boots that look like they were made to stomp through expectations. This is Supergirl, Superman the Animated Series style, and she's way more than a sidekick in a skirt. Before I talk about the animated version of Supergirl, I wanted to hand it over to my husband, who you may know as Serum Lake, to talk about Supergirl's comic book origins.
Supergirl was introduced in Action Comics number 252, published in 1959. She was Kara Zor-El, his teenaged cousin. When Krypton exploded, a chunk of it was launched into space, along with the people that inhabited it. At first, things looked okay for them. Sure, they were floating off in space, but they were alive. However, they were bombarded with kryptonite radiation and were forced to hide beneath a lead shield. Kara was born on this rock, but by the time she had reached adolescence, their lead shielding was beyond repair. So her father Zor-El put her in a rocket and sent her to Earth to live with her cousin. Supergirl was created to appeal to the young girl audience and was representative of that period in time. Safe, clean, and fun. However, when DC reset their continuity in Crisis on Infinite Earths, Superman's universe was streamlined significantly and became more grounded. Well, as grounded as stories about an alien who can fly and shoot lasers from his eyes can be. DC decided that Superman should be the only Kryptonian in the universe. No Supergirl, no Krypto the Superdog either. But that doesn't mean that they were done with the character. Writers jumped through many hoops to create multiple versions of Supergirl that weren't Kryptonian. There's the Matrix version of Supergirl, a protoplasmic shapeshifter, who went on to merge with Linda Danvers to become an angelic Supergirl. The Kryptonian Kara Zor-El returned in the pages of Superman Batman in 2004, when DC loosened their rules on Superman being the only Kryptonian. And let's not forget the two outliers, Sur-El, the artificial Supergirl created by Brainiac, and then the Supergirl of Earth 2, better known as Power Girl. Man, comics can be really convoluted, can't they? No wonder Mary left this bit for me.
Introduced in the episode Little Girl Lost, Kara Enzi, yes, Enzi, not Zor-El, hails from planet Argo, a sister world to Krypton. When Krypton exploded, Argo barely survived, and Kara lost everything, just like Kal-El. But instead of a baby being sent to Earth, Kara was a teenager when it all collapsed and was placed into suspended animation alongside her family. However, over the decades, the machinery keeping them alive broke down, leading to only Kara surviving. She was not a blood relative of Superman, but given that they were the same species, or close enough, he felt comfortable calling her his cousin. The important thing to note here is that she was old enough to remember her family, her friends, and her world, which set her apart from Superman. And when she arrives on Earth, she's not the polished, ready for heroics version you might expect. She's kind of a brat. And that's exactly why she works. She's impulsive, stubborn, and totally allergic to being told what to do, especially by Kal-El. But don't mistake attitude for immaturity. Kara's smarter than people give her credit for, including Clark. She knows what's at stake. She just refuses to be boxed in by anyone else's idea of who she should be. And let's talk about those Doc Martens style boots. They say everything. I'm here, I'm tough, and I don't need your permission. Even Superman, protector of Earth and Boy Scout extraordinaire, has a hard time knowing what to do with her. He tried to protect her by molding her into a normal human teenager. But Kara's not interested in being a normal teenager. She wants to forge herself on her own terms, and that independence isn't just bravado, it's survival. Kara understands Superman's pain, the aching grief of losing a homeworld, but she remembers more of it. She remembers the faces, the language, the culture, the sound of her mother's voice. She doesn't carry a legacy, she carries memories. And let's not forget that Kryptonian technology was light years ahead of anything on Earth. To her, being cooped up on a farm in Kansas would have felt the same as if one of us was sent back in time to a medieval period. And all of this makes her strength even more remarkable. She isn't trying to live up to Superman. She's trying to live through what he never remembers. Supergirl from Superman the Animated Series and Justice League Unlimited is rebellious, emotional, and bold. But more than that, she's a reminder that legacy isn't about imitation. It's about evolution. And in those red boots and iconic bangs, Kara becomes not just a girl of steel, but her own brand of super. In Justice League Unlimited, Supergirl undergoes a notable transformation, one that extends beyond her character development and is symbolized through her updated costume. Introduced in the episode Chaos at the Earth's Core, her new outfit marks a significant departure from the more rebellious, youthful, homemade design seen in S-TAS and earlier seasons of Justice League Unlimited, and reflects her evolution into a more mature and confident hero. Supergirl's original costume featured a white midriff-bearing crop tee, blue skirt, and Doc Martens-style boots. This look conveyed a more rebellious, riot girl energy, fitting for a younger Kara Enzi, who was still finding her place on Earth and in the shadow of her famous cousin, Superman. It was a bold and edgy style, visually setting her apart as a spirited newcomer with something to prove. However, by the time Justice League Unlimited's second season premiered, Supergirl had clearly grown both in confidence and capability. Her new costume reflected this growth. She now wore a more traditional superhero look, a blue long-sleeve top with the iconic S symbol, a red skirt, sleek red boots, and a matching red cape. This design closely mirrored Superman's classic outfit and paid homage to Supergirl's Silver Age comic book appearances. The change in costume wasn't just about aesthetics. It served a deeper narrative purpose. By adopting a look closer to Superman's, Kara visually signaled her readiness to step into her own as a full-fledged member of the Justice League. The new outfit stripped away the rebellious tone of her early appearances and replaced it with a more heroic, polished identity. No longer a sidekick or a tag-along, Supergirl had earned her place as a respected hero in her own right. Fans largely embraced the new look, appreciating the way it balanced femininity, strength, and tradition. While some expressed nostalgia for her original edgier costume, the new design was widely seen as a fitting evolution for a character who had outgrown her early impulsiveness and was now fighting alongside the most powerful heroes on Earth. In summary, Supergirl's updated outfit in Justice League Unlimited was much more than a fashion change. It was a visual metaphor for her growth, independence, and deepening connection to her Justice League and her own agency. It demonstrated that she was no longer just Superman's kid cousin. She was a hero in her own right, ready to stand shoulder to shoulder with the Justice League. In the episode Far From Home, Supergirl travels to the future with Green Lantern and Green Arrow, and ultimately chooses to stay in the 31st century with the Legion of Superheroes, where she feels she truly belongs. Her decision to stay in the future shows how much she has grown since we first met her in Superman the Animated Series. We see her develop this awesome ability to see where she is needed the most. It's very sad that Superman is losing someone so close to him, but you can sense the pride he has for her. All of the lessons he taught her were worth it because Supergirl will be where she is needed the most. And honestly, if that is not the best thing ever, I don't know what is. Thank you so much for watching this video, especially if you made it to the end. I hope you enjoyed it. As ever, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, leave a comment, do all that stuff that makes YouTube happy, and join me next time when I talk about Supergirl's mean-spirited clone, Galatea, and how Professor Hamilton betrayed his friends by making her. Love you, bye!